Hi, it's Joanne. Today we're watching Only Murders in the Building, Season 3, Episode 7, CoBro. We are solving the culprit's murder after all. Very excited for another episode. Sorry this is up late. I had a wonderful time with my friend who's visiting from Canada, so I wasn't able to react for a couple of weeks, but I'm back now. I'll be catching up this weekend. Let's go. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and let's go.
Believe it or not, I love people.
Oh.
Some people.
Oh wait, I have
Funny.
something to show you.
They have a bad habit of leaving.
Hey, my new haircut.
This is gonna be
Keep it in your
sad.
pants, perv. Things, though. Things I trust.
Klepto or plain old thief?
So the people can stay with me. If that makes me a klepto, so be it.
Klepto and a thief.
Because when the people we love are gone.
That meant something to her that he had that, right? Or did she take it? No, because it was on the body when the police came, surely. Or did she take it?
Thank you.
She still orders the sandwich she'd have had.
Don't even think about it. So where are your friends? Murder them too?
With words, some murdering was done.
Oh, I'm sure it is at your age. But at mine? Besides,
Charles.
if you lose it, they'll be back.
Charles is a bit of a
Well,
dick,
good thing
really.
You've got plenty of time to wait.
She's got the scarf.
Is that...
You've got to go after her.
Jeez, how much did you order?
It's a weird friendship.
I've been too obsessed with how
She's
do you sign
learning.
murder?
She is really learning for him,
You
and
know
that's not.
Dickie?
Pitch of the
Mhm.
Pickwick triplets.
Does the character have to be old?
It's a patter song.
Cliff, darling, please! You know how upsetting it is for me when you stress dance.
Ping-ponging pressure.
And I know you two had a spat.
I am
but
not calling Charles, Donna. He quit.
You were
And
the
I have
most
far
out of
too much
line
integrity
there.
to beg him to come back. Good for the odd laugh? Maybe. We had fun. But this isn't about fun.
He was your best friend.
Charles was not committed to our...
Never were you to admit it. So quick as a whip, gotta pick which triplet did it.
I recognize his face.
Broderick!
Thank
I've
you.
had sex dreams about this moment.
Scary time. 2 weeks at the Ritz-Carlton, almost no room service. But we survived, and now we're friends for life. When Cliff...
this is what we needed all along. A true stage veteran. Enough for these
Charles.
fussy film and TV friends.
This is not the first time Matthew has swooped in and stolen a role from me.
For the millionth
course.
time, you would not have been a good Ferris Bueller. You were 41.
Well, that I knew I recognized his face and the name.
Sure
And
that
now
I
I think
totally got this song. Fridge. Split one with me? Oh, sure.
rivalry there. Charles, Oliver talk to each other. Oliver in particular, because you were the worst in the argument. So Ben invented it. I bet his brother drew it or something.
Right, the Jamaican accents, I know.
No, the special effects.
Oh, special effects. I just wanted to... I'm sorry.
God, even after he's dead, everyone's just trying to make a buck off my brother. It's fucking gross. But I guess that's the world we live in.
I mean, the true crime industry is like that, a lot of it, but... yeah.
Burt
How
Reynolds was there,
disgusting.
Tom DeLuise was when I did war games, I taught myself to write code.
Incredible.
For my role in election, I started teaching high school and dating some students.
Okay.
If the constable has a lisp, opening night is in 2 weeks. We have to rehearse now. Ferris Bueller may take a day off, but Matthew Broderick?
I find it talking to them helps. Go ask her about the hanky, you know you want to.
Picky, picky. Do it all again tomorrow.
So, Oliver, where's he from? Where's he from originally? Wisconsin.
Oh, he's from where you're from. So.
Yeah, this calls for some rethinking.
No, it really doesn't.
Back to the piano, please. 3
Cool
little
piano man.
babes and their little babes.
Oliver, you just have to direct. Tell him how he was doing it is good.
I shouldn't have taken it all out on you.
You're also making money off
What
him.
out on me?
But he still gets all the credit for everything. Story of our lives. The fame, the CoBro
That was
franchise.
shit parents.
I should have sensed he might turn dangerous, and when I took my eye off the ball for 1 second, he killed my
Is
brother.
that why he said sorry?
I have to live with that for the rest of my life.
I got some moron to pay me $7,000 for it. Snooze, you lose.
You sold it? But I need it. Mabel thinks it may belong to the killer. Who'd you sell it to?
Mm-hmm.
One of those snake dorks upstairs.
Which snake dog? Which snake dog? Ooh. Time on his watch is different.
His watch when he fell and it stopped. Dickie said Ben always set his watch 20 minutes early, which means he died at 12:26. He couldn't have pushed Ben.
To be honest, you should go and talk to Dickie again.
Oh, ha.
You should go and talk to Dickie about that, to be fair.
The what?
We'll lift the curtain.
Don't
on
trust you,
Ben's
mate.
Final act.
The Bloody Mabel podcast. Huh? I think it's sexy, puts you front and center, which
No.
is nice. I mean, it's a terrible idea, but I just thought... probably a
Sir.
fun fashion. Oh, B. Glenroy. It's Ben Glenroy.
So then R.
Okay, so it's an R
Richard.
for what? Like Richard... Dickie. Dickie.
He said Ben always got the credit.
Damn, that's cold.
That's motive.
It is. We need to look closer at Tobbit here, I think.
And our theory rests entirely on this B being an R.
We once accused Sting of murder because he doesn't like dogs. This is actually pretty solid evidence.
Firearms. So they would point like this. Never like this. But this. I don't know, this feels so false.
I love when actors
Go
are willing
home.
to look like absolute
Excuse me?
idiots.
Go home. Questions Matthew Broderick. Nobody cares.
I'm calling him
what
Matthew Broderick the whole
denomination
time.
Constable is, or how he'd finger a mandolin. Why?
Why?
Because he doesn't have any parents. He's just 6 grams of ink on paper.
Well, see you tomorrow morning, 6 a.m. Nova Scotia time.
Oh, I'm not lurking. Lester wanted to inspect the peepholes because evidently some of them... I'm sorry.
Oh, apology accepted. Friendship mended. You're hired.
No, I don't...
Oliver, you fucking say you're sorry. I know that they all weren't great, but Oliver was
want to do this show. I just
the
want to hang
initiator.
out.
Of course, we'll do that all the time. But I'm guessing that horse enjoyed himself on set that day because he got to spend it with Charles Hayden Savage, who was
Sort of an
probably kind to
apology.
him. And I just wishes he could say sorry, but he can't. Not because he's a horse, because he's a little messed up emotionally. So all he can
Okay.
do is hate himself.
Apology accepted.
Okay.
Okay, I'll do the play.
I bet you would have made a much better Ferris.
Do you mean that?
Oh, I want to. But he's perfect.
I'm just gonna record this on my phone, okay?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Solve 3 murders that way, as you're fond of reminding me.
And he did one of those murders. Manslaughter, but you know. I can't figure you out, Tobbit.
I need to show you something.
Okay, show Mabel too.
I don't think she did it.
Oh my God, that means she's a killer.
Why?
Oh, please, Charles. It's not like your instincts on these things are famously good. You know,
She's moved
Are you the
out.
movers?
The day has passed. Has she uploaded the podcast already on her own?
So, who did kill Ben Glenroy? Maybe it
He
was someone who
bought
had a reason.
the handkerchief,
Money,
yeah.
jealousy, something to prove.
How did he know
All
she
of the
had
above.
it?
Flying solo this time, and the search for answers on a new
She
season
went
of Only
nuclear.
Murders in the Building.
I mean, it did
Hashtag
seem like
Bloody Mabel.
Mabel, my
Yeah.
love. I mean, they didn't seem very interested in doing the podcast this
I heard.
year.
Time to reopen the Glenroy case.
Well, yeah, she's done your job for you. I'm not happy that Mabel's on the podcast and said she's going solo this time and everything because, you know, I feel like she should have, I don't know, part of me feels like she should have tried to make peace with them first, but at the same time, I feel like she was the least wrong in the fight. Again, Oliver was the most wrong. And then she was right in saying that they haven't wanted to do the podcast, and then Oliver was really horrible to her. So I don't blame her for not reaching out to them, because Oliver, I mean, maybe she could have reached out to Charles, but Oliver really needs to actually apologize to Mabel because he was cool. And it's true that with this season, with the podcast, because of the play and the musical, they haven't been focused, they haven't been interested, they haven't been active in trying to do this thing. They've just been blowing her off, trying to tell her they're busy, not taking part. She has been doing most of the investigating on her own. And maybe they did want to go to her and say, we're sorry, we want to help you now, but too late. I think they could still do the podcast. I think, like, she could always say flying solo. Did I say it was flying solo? Well, it turns out that they miss me too much and they're back. You know, you can still spin it and have them back on the podcast if you wanted to. What I hope is that they're not going to be angry at her for going off without them, not going to try and, like, out podcast her, or, you know, I hope if anything they just go to her and continue with their apology. Admittedly, they don't know where she is currently, but they know where her mother lives because they went there one time. And they could text her. And still sort of be her friend, still be part of it all, I guess. I don't know. That is sad that she no longer lives in the building. So I don't like that ending. I was happy that, like, the fighting and the falling out didn't last too long, and it could potentially linger. I am glad Oliver basically did apologize to Charles. He kind of did say sorry in the mix of all of his words. The Matthew Broderick was hilarious. Like, I love the cameos they have in this show so much. Charles and Oliver apologizing to each other was very nice. And I think it will be good for Charles to do the play to kind of conquer his fear. In terms of the actual investigation, I feel like we made a lot of progress and not much progress, if that makes sense. Like, the biggest progress we made was really putting the light on Dickie. He came up with CoBro and he spent $7,000 on the bloody handkerchief that his brother was holding when he died. Now, I don't know. Again, I've been saying he's suspicious and we should look at him for a long time, but now I'm like, he's too suspicious too soon. So I really don't know. I am concerned that we still haven't questioned Tobity Tobbit, because he's just too perfect and wonderful and lovely. And, like, pushing the bloody Mabel angle and everything. I don't trust him. There's got to be something wrong with him. Which is sad for Mabel. But we will see. I don't know. I'm glad she's still friends with Teddy. Like, he did help her out last season. He did also shove a girl off a building and lie about it. But, you know, it wasn't really his fault. Like, yeah, it's a weird friendship, but it kind of works. You know, I've never thought he was evil. I think he was just an idiot. And then his rich daddy covered it all up for him. I was not expecting to see him again, so that was an interesting change. This episode felt to me like it was more of a kind of middle episode, taking a beat, looking at, like, where the characters are at now, Mabel finally moving out of the Alconia. I'd say hopefully not forever, but I kind of don't know. I don't think she's ever going to afford an apartment, because they're ridiculously expensive, aren't they? So who knows? And obviously we had kind of the musical having a little hiccup moment and then pulling through. It was kind of a slower episode in that regard, but a good episode character-wise. I'm just really stressed that it's going to turn into, like, Oliver and Charles versus Mabel thing. I hope they still try and find her and make it up with her. We will see. Reminder that you can find the unedited version of this reaction on my Patreon, and thank you so much for watching.